So this is pretty close to what I do right now, just a couple things missing. And the reps and sets obviously aren't going to be what I'm doing right now, but just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a rundown. So typically, let's say you could do, let's go, wow, this is hard to do. Right-handed. So let's say you're in your hypertrophy phase right now. So let's say we'll do 4 by 10 at, let's say, since it's the start of your hypertrophy phase, you've already done your transition phase. So we're gonna do at 7, at an RPE 7. It doesn't have to be that. That's just what I'm going for right now. So let's even make it 7 to 8. Give it a range, and we'll do that same protocol for. Let's see. Let's do it for your deadlift as well. So I'm just gonna make a star. So deadlift's gonna be the same. Yeah, we'll make the squat about the same. And your actual bench, comp bench. So these guys are going to be the staple of your strength training, right? Now, if your strength training is more based around like strongman stuff and you want to incorporate more overhead press, that is not for this video. But for all of like your, like a lot of your accessories, like let's see, I'm gonna call, all right, rear delts, let's say this week you're just gonna do 3 by 15 or 12 to 15. So that you're gonna wanna do the same with things like, you know, tricep work, isolated tricep work, which is here and here. And like if you're doing like biceps on, like let's say this, you have biceps on this day. Wow, that is terrible already. You do the same there, and then your variations. So your variations, it's gonna vary, but with like let's say this variation is like a heavier one. So let's say it's this deadlift variation is block pulls. You might only want to do like, let's say you'll do sets of 8 there, and let's say you're doing 3 by 8 this week at 7. So this first week is going to be pretty easy. You don't want to be killing yourself through that first week. All right, you want to make sure that you're leaving some in the tank because you got 2 more weeks to push yourself, where you're gonna push the volume and the intensity. So that weight's gonna be going up, that volume's gonna be going up. So you're gonna be increasing most likely sets and your weight. So make sure that you're adhering to the programmed RPE. Otherwise you will overshoot and you're gonna have a bad time. So with this bench right here, since this is your, so we'll leave these the same. You guys can basically see. So this is comp squat, comp deadlift, comp squat, and comp bench. So like with overhead press, you could do another one, 3 by 8, since it's closer to that hypertrophy range. Same thing, keep it at 7, RPE of 7. Triceps, we already kind of talked about this, but I'll just mark it 3 by 15, and you can put a range, 12 to 15. Sometimes that's easier. I just like to make sure that I'm hitting a number and staying consistent, so that way the next week, maybe I have to wait a little bit, but I do the same amount of reps. Or if I did 12, maybe next week I use the same weight, but I do 13 for all 3 sets. Something like that. Progressive overload. So then the bench variation, all these variations will probably keep near, we'll go 3 by 10 at 7 again. Now, the reason I did 3 by 10 here, or 10 reps versus 8 reps, is with the deadlifts, I usually just keep them in a slightly lower rep range. I know that I'm not the only coach that does this. I know a lot of coaches that do it this way. And it's just because it's like, God, sets of 10 to 12 on deadlift just suck balls. And I ain't about that life. So I just usually do a couple reps less, whatever I'm doing for squats. And it's done just fine for me. Let's see, what else we got here? So this guy, I'll mark this guy too. Do 3 by 10 at 7. God, this is like terrible down here. This squat variation, we'll just put 3 by 10. Oh yeah, this deadlift is actually going to be 4 by 8 here. Remember, it's at 7 RPE. So I know it's kind of hard to read, kind of hard to follow along, but baller on a budget. This is all the space I have to deal with right now. All right, so check this. Next week, theoretically, you could keep all your sets the same. I usually go up a little bit. That's just me. I like to add a set. All right, 4 by 10 on squats. Maybe that week was good enough for me, but I mean, I'm probably going to do another set, depending on fatigue. So if that following week I do a top set at whatever weight feels good at RPE 8 to 9, that's my new RPE for week 2. If I do that, I'm probably gonna be all right. It's all right. A couple reps in reserve, 1 rep in reserve. Do an extra set. If I'm feeling really good, then maybe I'll do 2 extra sets. But typically, just play it conservatively. We're doing the long game. No need to overexert yourself right now. All right. So I'm gonna do that with all of my main lifts. So my squat, my comp bench, my comp deadlift, probably this comp squat here, my other squat. I'm depending on fatigue for that week, how I'm rating my fatigue. If I just feel like absolutely broken coming up to this day, I might just say screw it. I'm just gonna do bare minimum 3 by 10 or whatever. That's gonna change from week to week. But this is what you're gonna see go up. Or when you're designing a periodized program, there's a lot of different ways to do it. I generally like to add some sets and up the RPE. So my 3rd week, I'm gonna be shooting for an RPE 10. I am gonna go for a top set. Now, does that mean that I want to overshoot and fail? No, I want to make sure that I hit my number of reps. So if I'm going for 10 reps at RPE 10, I want to make sure that I get 10 reps. Sometimes that's using an RPE calculator, sometimes it's using a 1 rep max calculator based off of other weeks, whatever it is. You're gonna get the feel for it that day. You're gonna know about what you can do. But I would definitely play it conservatively because there is a confidence aspect to making sure that you're actually hitting your all your reps for your given set. Now, something that Chad Wesley Smith does, and he's not the only one, but that's who does my programming, is he will have 1 top set. So instead of it being just 4 by 10 at 7 to 8, he'll have they use like calculations to figure it all out, but he would do like a 1 by 10 at like a given at a given percentage range of 1 rep max. Which can be difficult to kind of figure out. That's why I really like the RPE. Just 'cause you don't really have to do any of that math. It leaves a little bit more of the auto-regulation in the hands of the lifter, which can be good or bad depending on experience and whether you are training with your ego or with just making slow progressive gains over time. So after that, now this isn't for everyone, all right? It might only take you 2 weeks to get to the point where you need a deload, all right? If you're a big mofo and you're totaling 2,000 pounds, that may be the case for you. If you're a little guy, you may need 4 weeks of training before a deload. But for me, I'm just middle of the road. 3 weeks of hard training is plenty for me to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I need a deload or I'm gonna die. So make sure that you are earning that deload. So the reason it's an RPE 10 at that 3rd week is basically, so volume is gonna go up, so there's gonna be more sets, right? We're gonna throw in more sets, same rep range, all that, none of that changes. Especially the little guys, the little accessory work, triceps, rear delts, biceps. It's just the little accessory work, isolation exercises, whatever. Those are not going to change for strength, all right? So hold your horses there, bodybuilders. For squat. Alright guys, so I split this video up into 2 because the length was ridiculous. That's what she said. So, if you go ahead and check out the next video, it will be strength programming for dummies part 2. Alright.